Wake Up Heavy is a Weirding Way media podcast.
Rubber biscuit.
Welcome to Wake Up Heavy, the world's greatest horror movie podcast. On this episode, my weird dad and I will be talking about
Hello and welcome to Wake Up Heavy. This is Mark Begley, your host, and joining me once again,
Cleo, me.
my daughter Cleo. This is Wake Up Heavy Back to School episode because you start school on Monday and I'm going to try to release this on Monday. So we'll celebrate you going back to school and me having the house to myself again.
Oh.
No, this was a nice summer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we talked about summer school on the last one, did we? Maybe I mentioned it.
Did we? I don't know. Whatever.
Because you did summer school again this year because you were able to.
Mm-hmm.
You did PE again, but it was kind of different.
It was better. I just had to do packets, and then I finished it in like 4 weeks.
4 or 5.
4, I think.
I guess if you count that first week, I don't know. That first week when we all went to the meeting, that didn't seem like that was part of it, but I guess it was.
It was like technically, yeah, I don't know.
You finished 2 weeks early regardless.
Yeah.
Because it was independent study PE, which was awesome.
Yes.
Like you said, just completing packets and turning them in once a week. And so you have been home most of the summer.
Uh-huh.
This will be it for us until who knows when you're willing
Winter
to do
break?
another one. Yeah, maybe. I might
Or,
get something in.
Thanksgiving break.
Thanksgiving break, because you have a whole week off for that.
Mm-hmm. I have 2 weeks off for winter.
Thanksgiving?
No.
Wow. Lola, that's great. That's coming through
Both of ours.
both computers. We had a little bit of an issue getting this recording started
Just a little.
because we didn't have our dongle.
Dongle feels good to me. Dongle is fun, isn't it? Dongle sounds like a good time. Yeah, I'm a big fan of dongle. What does a dongle do exactly? Well, first and foremost, the dongle goes in a port. Right, so people could kind of insert.
To hook you on to mom's iMac.
Yep.
We sorted it out. So nothing but trouble doing these recordings lately for me. At least I remember to hit the record button this time.
Yes.
Head on over to the bonus episode of Cambridge and LaShawn to hear about all that nonsense.
Jinx is staring at me, and it's kind of scary.
Jinx is one of our cats, and she's in the room where Cleo is right now. We're in the 2 quote-unquote offices of our house recording, which kind of makes sense. All right, well, let's get into this. This is starting with movies that we watched immediately after Midsommar up to this weekend, I think. And not a whole lot, but
So fun.
who wants to start first?
You.
Okay. And we do have a couple of little themes here we'll get to at the end, and then some highlights, spotlights to discuss. All right, first one, and a lot of these were my suggestions. So I created a list, I think, after we watched Midsummer of some of my favorite modern horror films, and we hit quite a few of them. So this is one of those. And it is The Invitation.
And then we want. Ooh.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say I did a whole episode on it a while back.
Ooh, I liked it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Okay, next.
We watched The Green Room, or just Green Room?
I think it's just Green Room.
Green Room.
Another one from my list. And then you suggested Halloween 2, which I can't remember why. I think we just kept seeing Halloween stuff pop up.
Yeah, I don't know why we watched it.
It's fun. I like it. A lot of people hate it.
Oh.
In a lot of people's Halloween rankings, it is way low on the list.
Oh, that sucks.
And I understand why, but
Yeah.
I watched this one a lot when I was like your age. So next up.
The Offering.
Yeah, that was new to both of us. Just saw it on Hulu and gave it a shot.
Mhm.
Interesting Jewish horror film.
Yep. It's pretty good.
You're next. Another one from my list of favorites, recent favorites.
And then we watched The House of the Devil.
Another one of those on that list. Took a little break. We've been trying to watch this Coen Brothers movie for a while, and
Yeah, long time.
What was it on? It's on one of the commercial.
Oh, it was Freevee, wasn't it?
Yeah, Freevee. So IMDb's free.
We just gave in.
Thing. A lot of ads, but oh well. It looked fine.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
And that was
What?
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I guess that was my turn.
Yeah.
It's nice to say the title of the movie.
I had a friend named Ramblin' Bob. He used to steal, gamble, and rob.
And then we watched We Are Still Here.
Another one from my list.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made... You didn't highlight this one, but I started because I want to ask you about it at the end here. I made you and Mom watch The Lodge. One of my favorites. Kind of a divisive one as well for a lot of people.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Really sad. Kind of upsetting, but it's fine. And then we watched Starry Eyes, which I highlighted.
The last one on my favorite modern horror list that we got to.
Yes.
I recorded Psycho the other week because it played on TCM, and we had tried to watch it on Netflix last month, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
They had an awful...
It was so bad looking.
Standard definition copy of it, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, Netflix.
They had access to that crappy version. I was like, no, I am not watching it this way.
Yeah.
Thanks to TCM, I got to record it and finally watched that. That was your first time, right?
Yeah, I've never seen it. And then we watched Insidious Chapter 2, which was actually really fun.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
I forgot. I watched all of them, like I mentioned to you, and we'll probably watch the new one here once we get through 3 and 4. I know I said I enjoyed them for the most part, but when we were watching it, I was like, did I enjoy this one? And then it got kind of goofy,
Crazy.
time-loopy, and I was like, oh yeah, no, this is why I liked this one.
Yeah. It reminded me of the second Poltergeist too, just because of the weirdness. And I love the second Poltergeist because of the worm, man.
Yeah, that worm creature is pretty
The
awesome.
horrifying worm.
We did a rewatch of Game Night because
Of course.
it's awesome.
It's game night. I mean, come on.
How can that be profitable for Frito-Lay?
He's so frightening.
And because of that, we sort of got on a
What?
what's the Game Night isn't this way, but frat boy humor. Well, I don't know
Yeah.
what these movies are.
I described it as like little boy, middle schooler
Yeah.
boy humor.
It is little boy humor, and that was
Step Brothers.
The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. I'll do you in the bottom while you're drinking sangria. Nachos, lemon heads, my dad's boat. You won't go down cause my dick can float.
I think I've mentioned whenever comedies have come up on my show that is one of my favorites. It's been popping up on my Facebook memories because apparently I watched it, I don't know, sometime within the last 14 years and loved it.
Yes, it's insane. Oh my god. There were so many.
There are some wonderful moments in that movie.
You guys were like, look, watch this scene. And it's the drum kid scene.
Yeah, we won't get into detail on that. And then we were scrolling through Shudder. You suggested we just look through Shudder. The description of this one caught our eye. I've seen it a couple of times, and that is Summer of '84.
I liked it. It was good. I think we were trying to actually find like folk horror, but then we were just like, this
Yeah.
one sounds fun.
I was trying to find the folk horror section,
We found
and then I was looking at a different section because they've got all these,
subgenres, yeah.
and I don't even remember what that one was under.
Yeah, I don't either.
I enjoy it, and it's pretty rough at
Yeah.
the end.
It is.
I think it's due for a sequel. I forget how that ends every time, and then I'm like, oh yeah, they could come back to this.
Yeah, they could.
When that kid is older. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be the same actor, but it would be kind of interesting.
Well, it came out a good enough time ago where he could maybe play a little
Play
bit
an
older.
adult, a young adult.
Young adult.
It would be effective, I think, if he is older and has his own family.
Yeah.
We won't spoil the end, but if you've seen it, you understand where we're getting at.
Yeah.
And then following in the middle school boy humor category, we watched
This is the end.
Dude, Siegel's dead. Krumholz is dead. Michael Cera's dead.
Guess if Michael Cera's gone, it's not a total loss, huh?
Jesus, Dan.
Michael Cera's dead.
It's not like that. That's not funny, man.
Oh, there was so much.
I love that movie. I might even like that one more than Step Brothers, to be
Oh,
honest
that's
with you.
insane, man.
There's a lot going on, and I love how they're skewering their own personas in that.
Yeah, it's just them.
Just them being idiots.
Yep. There's some parts that just give like home movie made with friends, which is what they do in the movie while they're trapped in the house. But it's just
hitting on our Dario Argento fix for this time period. We watched Inferno.
Which was fun.
Realized again, I mean, I know it's part of the Three Mothers trilogy, but it's so very similar to Suspiria.
Which, it's fine. That also had insane music, just like Suspiria.
Mm-hmm.
The music in Inferno is crazy, though.
I'm trying to think if Deep Red's music is as bonkers. Yeah, I mean, it's usually pretty intense, the scores to his films.
Mm-hmm.
Next up?
And then we watched the Evil Dead reboot? Prequel? Sequel? Whatever it's called? Yeah. Evil Dead 2013.
Yes, and I mentioned, I think we discussed this a little bit last time. I go with it being the sequel because Ash's car is there. She's sitting on it at the beginning of the film.
And also he's
shown at the end.
Post-credits, yeah.
Groovy.
And it's the quote-unquote the same cabin, etc.
Mm-hmm. Which, that cabin was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yes. Thank you for remembering that. At the end, the exact same, a little bit smaller scale, I think, in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
But it had the porch swing.
Mm-hmm.
It was the exact same cabin.
It's supposed to be the same cabin because they are friends with Sam Raimi.
Mm-hmm.
This was Mom's suggestion for middle school boy humor, old school.
Yeah.
Just fine. I don't think I like that one as much as like Step Brothers or the other one.
Oh, Step Brothers was crazy. So was This Is the End. But that one was good. It was fun. It still had insane stuff.
I think what threw me off, and I don't really remember this. Well, I mean, I remember it because it's part of Will Ferrell's whole deal in that movie, but his marriage and like immediate divorce is just kind of a weird subplot.
Yeah, that was weird.
It's like, why would you marry? You didn't know this about this guy until after you married him?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, what? Okay, whatever.
It was still good, though. It was a fun watch.
Yeah, you could do a lot worse. Okay, so for our spotlights, which one would you like to dive into first?
Let's go backwards and do Evil Dead first.
Okay, so I highlighted that one actually, just because I wanted to get your impression of that versus Evil Dead Rise and even the first two original films and the gore in that.
The gore was crazy, man. The one, the needle.
The needle in the eye.
Yeah, where he gets...
Or near the eye.
It's like right under. I can't do needle stuff and I can't do eye stuff, so that was not a good combo.
The gore in this is pretty intense and really well done practical effects that have an air of reality to them that makes it that much worse.
Yeah, because like using the meat cutter thing to cut your own arm off.
That's one of the scenes that makes me queasy.
You don't like arm stuff.
Well, I don't like exposed bone stuff.
Yeah.
Or more to the point, which we've been seeing a lot lately.
Yeah, thanks, ER.
Well, the other girl cutting her face off, they don't show much. They just really show the after effects of it. They don't show her doing it. Maybe that's in the unrated. We didn't watch the unrated version.
Yeah, it wasn't...
I've heard that the copies floating out there aren't that great, so I didn't really want to watch a low quality version just to see some extra gore.
Yeah.
And when that girl's hitting them with the crowbar, just the way those blows land and stuff just feels like too real to me.
There's something like that in Starry Eyes too, where I'm like, Starry Eyes made my tummy hurt.
Yeah. It's got the same kind of intensity as this. actually, in the gore scenes.
But like kind of in a different way a little bit because she's basically a corpse.
I mean, she's dying and or transforming, and so her body is going through stages of rotting, apparently.
I guess, but it was so gosh. That movie is good too, but my tummy hurt for a little bit after it.
Yeah, that gets very brutal at the end with the dumbbell and her transformation, throwing up worms and
which I didn't watch it. I was just like, gonna hide. I don't like maggots.
Peels her fingernail off, which is
that was so gross
to me.
Yeah, that one scene in Black Swan where she does it.
Yeah,
the hangnail. Yeah. I mean, Star Eyes is good.
That's one of the movies for me that I heard all this buzz about, and then when I finally watched it, I was like, oh yeah, I get it. That lived up to it. And I really like that lead actress in there. And then what's his name from I always forget that guy's name. That's in all the Rian Johnson movies. That's the other passive aggressively mean girl's boyfriend that's trying to make a movie.
Yeah.
He's always good.
Yeah.
Anything else about Starry Eyes?
I mean, not really. Made my tummy hurt, but it was really good.
Sometimes a good tummy hurt is okay.
Yeah.
Evil Dead makes my tummy hurt, so.
I don't know. I don't think that was a weird sentence. I'm not going to be like, I like the gore in Evil Dead, but I don't think gore like that really hurts my stomach. It's obviously more of like bugs, nails, eyes, vomit.
Yeah.
I can't do vomit.
Hey, as a kid, I couldn't either for the longest time. And I've shared that on my show before. That is something like when I saw Stand By Me in the theater, I was like, oh no, yeah. I'd read the story and I'm like, oh no, that scene's coming up. It got a little queasy, even though it's over the top. It was more the people that were just realistically throwing up. They just had stuff in their mouth and were throwing it up, not the projectile vomit.
The projectile,
the kid was doing. And I could tell, I'm like, oh, better look away.
Yeah. Ugh.
And that was when I was 16 or 17, whenever that movie came out. So
yeah,
same age roughly.
Yeah, yucky.
What else? Which other one?
You want to talk about your like starred ones?
Yeah. What did you think? I kind of felt like you and Mom were sort of tuning out on The Lodge.
That was. I think it's just because it was really depressing, but I was watching it. As I said, it's the dad's fault. That's my thoughts.
Yes.
He should have not
forced that situation and then left.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's major criticism of
basic. That. Yeah.
But I think it says a lot about him as a person, that character. I just remember a lot of people really not liking it when it came out. I mean, I saw positive stuff too, but then I watched it because I had liked those directors. It's a pair. Their film Goodnight Mommy is really good. I saw the trailer for this and I was like, ooh, that looks really interesting. And was surprised at how awful the kids were.
Yeah, the kids kind of suck.
Oh, they totally suck. I really enjoyed the framing and stuff. Before, when I talked about it, I was more thinking of the symmetry of the shots and the composition. But then I realized this time, I'm like, oh, they're making these interiors look like the dollhouse.
The dollhouse, yeah.
Just by the way the camera is positioned, like you didn't know if it was a dollhouse room or a real house room until somebody walked into frame.
Which is probably to add the uneasiness that...
Oh, yeah.
What's her face feel? I don't remember her name.
The Riley Keough character.
Yeah. What was her? I want to say like Claire, but I don't think that's right.
Something like that, but you're asking the wrong guy because I never remember character names unless I've watched a movie 150 times.
Yeah.
But yes, those kids are awful. I remember your mom was like, oh, those poor kids.
And you're like...
F them kids. They caused all this. They were being absolutely horrible to this fragile person the whole movie. Sorry. Bye-bye.
I still stand by the dad should have never done any of that.
No, he should never have left.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't do that anyway. They're not her kids.
Because imagine if even before they broke her, she was already like that and did that anyways.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
It's one of those depressing ones that I really like.
Yeah.
I like the mood of it, that it's that downbeat. It works for me with this film.
Because sometimes things are a little too depressing, which is why sometimes I don't want to watch Black Mirror, because most of the episodes end really dystopian. But I really like Black Mirror episodes that are fun, like Hang the DJ or the USS Callister. Ones that have good endings are more fun for me to watch, but there are really good things like The Lodge that have really depressing endings and just depressing whole things.
Through the whole movie, that tone, that overwhelming tone of...
Well, yeah, because the mom in the beginning, we're just like, oh, mom.
Yeah. Bye-bye, Alicia.
She's gone in like 10 minutes.
It's a good one, though. I enjoy it. I was glad to watch it again. Do you want to move on to your next highlighted one or another starred one?
We can do another starred one.
We Are Still Here. One of my favorites. Another one that I had heard a lot about that actually worked the first time I saw it. I like the vibe of that one a lot.
I like that it's not a group of teenagers, it's older people. They're both two older couples. I mean, there are younger people in that, but we know what happens to them. I like the kind of, it's not like a full plot twist, but I like the kind of, like, not what you expect with the ghost people, the way it's done. It reminded me a little bit of how the town would act of Cabin in the Woods, where they're like, this has to happen or the town will die, but eventually it's just like, who cares? It's good. I liked all the weird, the evil town or evil ghosts or both. Like, yeah.
Well, we're led to believe that it's the family, the ghost family, that does all this, but there's something bigger than that that is governing what is
all
going
of it,
on.
yeah.
And I didn't really catch that the first couple of times I watched it and was confused. But once I did, I was like, oh, yeah, I get it now. I get it.
I did like all the random, I think it was towards the end, all the like people getting sucked through holes and then the hole in the basement that just like spewed out.
Explosions of blood everywhere. Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
It's another one that kind of kicks it into another gear at the end. Because it's not really gory up until then. And then it gets pretty gory. Not Evil Dead gory, maybe not even Starry Eyes gory, but pretty gory.
It's pretty good, though.
Yeah, I like that one. Okay, up next, which one? House of the Devil or You're Next?
House of the Devil. Because that one was also pretty strange. And I was sad to see Greta go.
Yeah.
That caught me off guard, man. Because I was like, okay, you shouldn't be talking to this guy. I don't care if it's like the 80s or whatever. And then her face is just gone. Bye-bye, Greta.
That was one of the reasons I thought of it, is because with Barbie out and Greta Gerwig making one of the most profitable movies in all of history, and a lot of the people I follow on Twitter, of course, are horror people, so they're like, I'll always remember her as the girl that gets her face blowed off, in House of the Devil. And I was like, yeah, that's who she is to me, too.
Yeah.
It's my favorite Ty West film still. He hasn't beat it as far as I'm concerned. It's just my personal opinion. That one took me a while to latch on to. I think it took me like 3 watches to go, oh yeah, I'm enjoying the vibe of this too, the feel.
Yeah.
All the slow zooms, it's supposed to be very throwback to the 80s. It's one of the more successful movies of nailing that.
I like how grainy it is.
Yeah, it was super grainy.
Yeah, which we were like, I think the other thing was that we were watching it during the day, which probably didn't help with that, but like, wow, there was a lot of grain.
Well, during the day and on such a high definition TV, it was mainly just that opening in the apartment that she's trying to rent, where the lighting was such a way as like, wow, plus it was shot on 16 millimeter and blah, blah, blah. But it didn't really look that grainy from that point on. It was really just those opening scenes.
And then I liked how long it took. I usually don't like slow paced stuff, but I like how long it took for anything to actually happen. Because like she goes around dancing and you're like, oh, something's gonna happen. Nothing does. She's fine. She breaks the vase. Nothing really too bad happens with that. She's having fun at that house, until the end.
When I talked about that in Starry Eyes early on, I mentioned that there was like a good 20-minute chunk of time, the second act of the film, where nothing happens.
Yeah.
That can either work or not work.
Yeah.
But I think in this case it works. It helps lower your expectations or inhibitions or whatever. Lower something so that you're not expecting the big reveal and the craziness of the end.
And for some, it can like add to the suspense because it's taking so long. Like, when is it going to start? Which is fun.
And you get a few little things in there, like the family in the room and the this and the that. So it's not
yeah. Which was also like, oh, hey, what? Did she see that? I remember, I think I asked you, I was like, was that just for us or did she see that?
No, that was for the audience.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, when we watched that and Starry Eyes, both those lead actresses ended up in Mike Flanagan stuff. Yeah. They're both in Dr. Sleep, and Alex Esso from Starry Eyes is in Midnight Mass and Blind Manor.
Yes, because
I don't know if she's in the new one. I don't know if she's in House of Usher.
Is she the gardener in Blind Manor? Is that who she is?
No, she doesn't have a big part in Blind Manor. I think she's one of the... Oh, I forget who she is in that. Yeah, I'd have to see it again.
Yeah.
She's not one of the main characters in that.
I mean, I haven't seen Bly
not really a main character in Midnight Mass either, but...
She's there.
She's there through most of the
She's
story.
Like reoccurring or whatever.
Yes. And then we just saw Jocelyn Donahue, the girl from House of the Devil, in something else recently. What did we see her in?
Oh, shoot, we did. What was it?
Oh, she was in Insidious, Chapter 2.
Oh, yeah.
She was Barbara Hershey's character in the flashbacks.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I starred You're Next, because that's another one that I really, really like.
Yeah, also good. I like that type of twist, inside job stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. The ending made me mad.
Well, I don't like home invasion films most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, neither do the people that wrote and directed it. So they actively tried to avoid the tropes that go along with home invasion films. And I think that's why I like it so much, because they did a darn good job of that.
It kind of reminded me of, when he gets shot at the end of Night of the Living Dead. They think he's a zombie or whatever.
Oh, yeah, with the cop at the end, you mean?
Yeah, but she kind of just goes crazy on her scary boyfriend and then gets arrested. But the video camera and stuff, there's ways that she cannot get arrested and put into jail. It's fine. I like that one, though.
I choose to believe that she gets off.
She gets out, yeah.
Invitation or Green Room? Which one should we end on?
We should end on Green Room.
Okay. So The Invitation, this is one that took me a couple watches, and that's only because it makes me very anxious.
Anxious, yeah.
Because in my mind, I would have left that party so fast if I was the main character.
Well, yeah. I think at the point where they're like, let's watch this video together. And I'm like, man, this was supposed to be a family dinner thing, a friend dinner. I'm not watching a cult video with you. I mean, I even said, I was like, I would have never have gone to a dinner with my ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend with my new ex-wife, who I lost a child with.
That losing a child thing is what sort of hangs over all this and what binds them together, whether they like it or not. They had a child together, they lost a child together, so I have to constantly think about that myself.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, get the heck out of there.
Yeah, leave. What are you doing here?
But they've got healing to do, so that's why they go.
Yeah. I liked, first of all, how many people actually survived. Is it 3? It was him, his girlfriend, and one of the gay guys. I liked that they actually, other people other than him survived, because it's nice when that happens. Again, it was kind of another one where it took a little bit of time for stuff to actually happen, because most of it's just him being like, why are the doors locked? Stuff like that. I'm just being kind of suspicious, which is fun to watch.
He's on edge the whole time, so he's paying attention to these things that no one else is noticing, but does that mean that they're ominous, or is he just paranoid, or is he just on edge because he's back at his old home where his son died with his wife, who also almost died or almost took her own life and was very depressed, and this has got to be a hard situation. But my own personal not liking to hang out with a a lot of people just would.
Yeah.
The minute I
And
was
both of us.
uncomfortable, I would have been gone. Like, you
Mhm.
don't even have to start a video. I just, like, I'm not really feeling this, so we're going to go.
Yeah.
But then there would be no movie.
Yeah. I mean, there are movies that do the, like, kind of smart character well, like a character that would actually act like a real person, like Nope, where he just stays in the van the whole time. Like, that's what real people would do. But
Mhm.
I did like that the wife was kind of sympathetic a little bit, because she didn't really seem fully into the, let's kill a bunch of people in our house. And then she, shot herself, but
Right. Spoilers for that movie, folks.
sorry. It's been out long enough.
I know. I'm not worried about it with any of these.
Back to Mike Flanagan. Didn't I say when we were watching it, I was like, she looks like she could be in a Mike Flanagan.
Yeah. Definitely has
It's got all
the same look.
Yep.
Of all of his leading ladies.
Yep.
Mike Flanagan definitely has a type.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame him because it's kind of my type too. So,
Oh.
well, I mean, look at your mom.
Yep.
Anywho, anything else about The Invitation?
I do like the end. The looking at all of the, like, what, Hollywood Hills, wherever they are.
Mm-hmm.
Just red everywhere.
Little red lanterns all over the place, and
Concerning.
screaming and helicopter sounds.
Helicopters.
And ambulances.
Yeah.
Ambulance-I. What's the plural of ambulance? We saved
The best.
Green Room. The best for last, is that what you said?
Yeah. I really liked it. An interesting setting for a movie. A Nazi bar, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The Green Room in a Nazi bar.
Yep.
You've got kind of not a mystery, but you've got a locked room scenario. You've got
Yeah, the...
really violent people.
Clearly.
Really gnarly violence in this one.
Yeah, because, again, it's realistic. Yeah, a machete can do that to your arms.
It portrays violence the same way. And obviously this isn't like a supernatural thing going on.
It's just Nazis, man.
It's that unflinching, we're just going to show it. And I remember reading an interview with the director saying there's not going to be a cut there where you have the chance to set up in people's heads that this is a special effect.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the box cutter and that guy's belly. And it's like, oh my, that is, again,
rough.
one of those things that makes me queasy.
Yep. She really liked her box cutter in that movie.
It just slides right up, and it's like, oh man, that is rough.
It opens so... There was some things other than the gore where I was like, so is this chick like a Nazi, or is she Nazi adjacent, or is she just there by, like, association?
Imogene Poots?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, she's with those.
She's with them.
She's Nazi adjacent, if nothing more.
Yeah. She has the outfit on. She's got the docks and stuff.
The hair.
Yeah, the hair.
Jacket, the suspenders.
Yep.
Nothing she really does or says.
I think she does mention that a person of color, like, hurt her or something. That's why she's there. But I'm still like, that doesn't mean you have to be a Nazi. She's an interesting character.
Her thing is that she's trapped there too. I think that's really the only common ground that they have, is she is trapped there too. Her friend just got murdered. Yeah. And she wants out of there too. I don't think there's any, as the audience, we're not supposed to
think about that. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we're supposed to necessarily root for her, except as a human being trying to get out of an awful situation. Like, siding with her doesn't mean like you're a
evil
Nazi sympathizer.
Yeah. I just remember thinking about that, and I was like, that's an interesting thing to do with a character like that. Her scenes, again, she's very box cutter happy. Yeah. She uses that thing a lot.
I like her demeanor throughout the film. It's just really almost disaffected.
Yeah.
Really low volume. Everything about her is slow and low, but she's pretty much ends up being the one that saves her and Anton Yelchin.
Mr. Anton. And then, there's multiple scenes where she's just like, shoot him. Just shoot him.
Right. Like, just matter of fact, let's not screw around here. And it's got my dude in it, Macon Blair, who I love.
Yeah. And it had, what's his name? Callum, British actor. I knew him from like Emma. He's in Emma and some of the Harry Potter movies. But I saw him and I was like, why is he in this movie? Because I just see him as a British actor. So I was like, what?
Is he the one?
He's the one with the blue hair in the movie.
I get the two guys confused who we've just encountered separately in other shows recently.
Mhm.
You were just watching Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim.
And the other guy's in that. That's the guy.
Yeah, that's one of the Nazis, I think.
No,
He's
the
with
one
them.
that he breaks that big guy's arm. Isn't he part of their band?
No, because Reese is the one from Black Mirror that was part of the band.
He's the one that was dating the girl secretly.
Yeah,
Is that right?
I think so. They
They
very,
all look the same.
They all look the same.
All three of those blonde guys.
They're like kind of gingery blonde. They look very similar.
Let me figure this out.
Because Reese was the one that I know was the one in Hang the DJ, which was the Black Mirror episode. But the other guy, I don't know.
Mark Webber.
Yes.
He's Daniel in Green Room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's the one that was secretly dating the girl who got stabbed in the head.
Yes, I think so.
He's one of the Nazis. That's the guy that was in Scott Pilgrim. And then Reese was the one with blue hair. Which one was the guy that broke the dude's arm, though?
I think it was Reese. Reese is the one, not the blue-haired one. The blue-haired one is the one from Emma.
Okay, now you're really getting me confused. So we'll so the
Blue
blue-haired
hair
one is not
British.
the guy from Black Mirror?
Mm-mm. He's not in Black Mirror.
Okay, this is going to be real fun for people to listen to.
Yes, it is.
Okay, we'll figure it out after this
Yeah.
because I'm really confused right now.
Cleo was correct about who is who in Green Room. Ignore Mark.
Anywho, we've encountered
We've
a
seen
few
them.
of these guys in Black Mirror, Scott
Yeah.
Pilgrim, and something else recently.
Yes, something.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it, people. Let's move on.
I thought the other chick, Sam, was gonna survive, and then
Oh, yeah. Maybe from Arrested Development. I love her.
she died. The dog, the freaking dog. Oh, hi, doggy.
Yeah, I always forget who ends up going, and it's pretty much everybody in that group, in their group,
except for
Anton
him.
Yelchin.
Oh, we haven't even talked about the arm either. I just mentioned it.
I should show you the poster, though. I don't know if it's fan made or if it was an alternative poster for it.
Oh no.
Of the arm. It's great. I think it's one of the best
That's
movie
so
posters
foul.
ever made. Maybe I'll try and use that somehow for the image art for this episode.
Do it. I support that. He tries to get out. He gets his arm caught in the door, and they just go to town on his arm.
Hack it to pieces.
Because he brings it back out, and it's just like, oh.
That's one of the worst. That is another stomach turning scene for me. That and the box cutter to the
tummy. Yeah.
Ugh.
Because then they duct tape his arm back.
Hey man, what are you gonna do?
It
Gotta keep
worked
from flopping
too.
around.
He used it for the rest of the movie, so
Yep. The violence in this one was so well orchestrated, and that makes it seem so realistic. And that unflinching brutality is just it's once they get stuck in that room, that is it for the rest of the movie. I mean, there's little lulls and stuff.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, everything with the dogs and it's just rough. I'm glad my man, Macon Blair, makes it out of there and sort of redeems himself for being involved with these Nazi bastards. But
he kind of just goes on a little walk in the woods to rethink life,
he does what he promises to do. And
Yeah.
he gets the cops. So,
He sticks with his word, so.
and that's the guy. I don't know if I've made it clear. He's the one that directed I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore.
And I can't feel at home in this world anymore.
Now it
No.
makes sense. It all makes sense now.
And then at some point we'll watch, it's a lot slower movie, but we'll watch Blue Ruin because he is the main character in that. And it's directed by the same guy that did Green Room. And it's really good.
And then back to our confusing talk about people who we've seen in other stuff. Anton Yelchin was in a Criminal Minds episode that I watched recently.
We just watched. He was pretty young there too. He was a little dude.
I looked it up. He was like 18 or something in that. He was
really
a small child. Yeah, he was young.
I mean, he looked
He's
young.
Well, yeah,
everything.
he's kind of small in that one.
Mhm.
And then he was in that episode of ER when he was like, what, 10 probably?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's what I thought you were going with, actually. I forgot about the Criminal Minds thing.
Yeah, that's what I think that's what I originally knew him as, but didn't know his name. So I was just like, that's the kid from Criminal Minds. It's like kind of unwell in the head.
Very unwell. That's a creepy episode, actually.
It's a good one though, man. I really like that episode just because of all that subplot.
I know what it is.
What is?
A desert island band.
Tell somebody who gives a shit.
So you mentioned Black Mirror earlier.
Yes.
And we've been going through that. And we finally made it to the new season.
Oh my lord.
What are some standout episodes for you, other than the happy ones like USS Callister and Hang the DJ?
The one with Domhnall Gleeson, the like kind of sad AI episode, that one was good. Jonah's Awful, the most recent one we watched with Selma Hayek and what's her face and Michael Cera. That was insane. Let me think.
Well, that one made me laugh because I'm like, boy, Netflix is putting this out and they're just getting lambasted on this.
The strikes, like, right.
And that's exactly what they're striking about for the most part, is stuff like that. Yeah, just sign away your image to be used however they want.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me look at some of the episodes so I can get my memory up in here. Oh, crap.
I mean, I still think the very first episode is a classic.
The very first episode.
With our boy, Rory from Men.
Rory.
Scrumping. Hang him!
He looks normal in that episode for the most part.
Yeah.
I like the A Million Merits episode. That one was just like weird. And then that song is in just about every other episode of every season.
Mm-hmm.
The White Bear episode is good. It was a very weird twist, kind of. I like Nosedive, the Bryce Dallas Howard one, where she like kind of goes cuckoo at the end.
And a lot of this stuff, man, it's just like, this is all right here or very close to being right here.
Yeah, especially, that one is...
I forgot how much I liked the crocodile one.
Yeah, that one was really depressing, but it had a good...
Oh boy, talk about going over the edge.
I like the silly episode with Miley Cyrus. That was actually kind of fun. The Rachel, Jack, and Ashley too. And it's another one that it's just like, that's basically just probably Miley Cyrus's life. Very interesting that they're just like, let's, again, like Jonah's Awful, let's just make an episode of something that's very much happening. But yeah, there are some episodes that I like that aren't excessively happy, but I do like USS Callister may be my favorite episode just because of how insane it was. It's got Mary, that's how I know him from Psych. He plays the little weird helper in some of the season finales or some of the seasons of Psych.
Oh,
and he's in like,
what is that guy's name?
I cannot remember his name. Yes, Jimmy. Oh, I can't remember his last name. His name's Jimmy.
Jimmy Simpson.
Yeah, his character was really funny in that.
Our dude from Game Night was in that one.
Yeah, Jesse.
Well, no, the other guy too.
Yes.
I mean, Jesse
both
Plemons,
of them.
but Ding Dong from Game Night.
The like Chad.
Yeah.
The kind of the dog or whatever, fat man.
Yeah.
That episode was really fun though. I liked all the kind of spoofy Star Trek, basically. All of it. So fun.
Well, it starts out as kind of a silly thing, and then it gets really dark because you realize what's going on and how he's doing this. And
because it's one of the like split conscious things. Again, that's a running theme in Black Mirror too. The sun being like put out of the spaceship, like into space. What? That's like crazy. Or I think you may have missed it, but one of the like aliens that they fight in one of his scenarios is just a crew member that he got mad at and turned into a monster.
No,
but it's a fun one. I liked that one a lot.
I think I've enjoyed most of them. I don't think I caught it when it first came out. It probably already had been on for 2 seasons before I decided to take a look. And then I kept up with it. It's been so many years between the new one and the last one. I didn't really think much about it, but I'm glad it's been so long because I don't remember too much of any certain episode. Like a few of them, I'm like, man, I don't even remember watching this. The one from last season, the guy that kidnaps.
The Smithereens episode?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even remember watching this one.
Which I finally realized who you guys were talking about. He looks so weird in that episode. Topher Grace. I was like, oh, I know him. He's from That 70s Show. And then I looked at him in the episode and I was like, that does not look like him.
Well, because he was wearing a ponytail wig.
Wig,
Come on,
yeah.
girl.
And then I want to say he's in one of the Spider-Man movies too, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. No, he is. He is.
That episode was also very depressing, though.
Yeah, a lot of them run to dystopian, but I kind of enjoy that. He's trying to warn us about stuff that we're all pretty much already doing. Okay, anything else of note?
I don't think so.
Anything that you're looking forward to watching?
The Scott Pilgrim anime that comes out in November.
And you're watching that right now, and that's why you made that connection between one of the guys from Green
One
Room,
of them,
whichever one he is.
I like how you just walked into the living room and just at the TV for like a good minute. And I was just like, what are you doing?
Well, we still haven't watched the Blues Brothers, but
one of the
you got to hear their cover of Rubber Biscuit yesterday in the car. So what did you think of that?
That was crazy and actually really fun sounding. So I am up to watch that now because that was crazy.
Well, that song is not in the movie, unfortunately.
That's stupid.
That's from one of their albums.
The other day, I had a ricochet biscuit. A ricochet biscuit is the kind of a biscuit that's supposed to bounce back off the wall into your mouth. If it don't bounce back, you go hungry. Bow, bow, bow.
That came on in my car when I was taking you over to Auntie School.
Well, yeah, we were just listening to Oh Brother, Where Art Thou music, and then that came on.
Well, my phone decided to play my most recent uploads, which was Oh Brother, Where Art Thou soundtrack. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou
One more time.
Or Art Thou soundtrack,
which is really good,
and Surf Punks, which I downloaded because of Cambridge and Washawn stuff. But anyway, then it moved on to the rest of my music, and
that popped
Rubber Biscuit popped up. It's pretty awesome.
Is there any other? Well, for like movies for me, the like prequel Hunger Games movie comes out the same day that the Scott Pilgrim show comes out. Like in theaters, so there's gonna be a lot of stuff in November. I don't know about. There's a new Adventure Time show coming out at the end of this month, which I'm excited to watch.
Well, good for you.
Just all my little things.
I don't know what I'm looking forward to. I want to see this movie Cobweb that everybody's been talking about.
Oh, I just thought of something. Have you heard about the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein thing? That's supposedly happening with like Mia Goth and other people.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's
Frankenstein gets tossed around every couple of years.
Yeah.
Somebody's doing something.
I just thought about that. It's coming out like next year or whatever.
Well, I like him and I like her, so.
Yes.
Is she going to be a creepy bride of Frankenstein?
I really hope so, because that would make me happy.
She has the potential to be really creepy looking.
Yeah. I mean, Sherry doesn't have eyebrows, so. Her face fits the no eyebrows, though.
Yeah, works for her.
Yep.
Alrighty, well, we'll just see what happens doing one of these during your breaks during the school year.
Yeah.
Maybe, but have fun going back to school.
Yay. I'm so excited to be a junior.
Hey, man. I just have a couple more years and you're done with high school.
Thanks.
Everybody out there, stay safe, be smart, watch good movies. What else?
Watch weird ones, too. Or gory ones.
Watch weird, gory ones.
Yeah.
You can get a hold of them. And don't forget.
Anything can happen when you wake up heavy. Ho, 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 ho.
Here, I hit it on the head of it. Here, I hit it on the chicken walk. I hit it on the kitchen walk. I hit it on the hill. Here, I hit it on the head of it. I hit it on the head of it. I hit it on the shop. There, I hit it on the head of it. Here, I hit it on the head of it. Do that again. Bow, bow, bow. Here, I hit it on the head of it. Yeah, I never, 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 never. There, I hit it on the chicken walk. I hit it on the head of it. Here, I hit it on the head of it. I hit it on the head of it. Here, I hit it on the head of it. Have you ever heard of a wish sandwich? A wish sandwich is the kind of a sandwich where you have 2 slices of bread and you wish you had some meat. Bow, bow, bow. Here, on a hit on a hit, here, on a hit on a hit, here, on a never, 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 never. Now, on a hit on a hit, here, on a hit on a hit, here, on a hit on a hit, here, on a hit on a hit, The other day, I had a ricochet biscuit. A ricochet biscuit is the kind of a biscuit that's supposed to bounce back off the wall into your mouth. If it don't bounce back, you go hungry. Bow, bow, bow. Here, on a hit, on a hit, here, mama, here, on a hit, 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 The other day, I had a cool water sandwich and a Sunday go to meeting bun. Bow, bow, bow. Here, on a hit, 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 on a hit rada hit on a hit wah. Here on a hum on a shabba. Here on a ha baba chica wah. I rada hit on a hit wah. Here on a name on a hum on a. Here rada hit on a hit wah. Here rada hum on a hit wah. Here on a hum baba shabba baba. Here rada hit on a chica wah. I rada hit on a chica wah. Here rada hit on a hit wah. Zul mama ha baba chica wah. What do you want for nothing? Rubber biscuit? Bye.